Good morning, brothers and sisters. I wanted to read an article for you by Jan Markell entitled Trending Towards the Tribulation, 7 Indicators to Watch. She goes on to say, I have been watching the convergence of the so-called signs of the times ever since someone handed me Hal Lindsey's late great Planet Earth many years ago. The book got my attention. Since then, I am fascinated with how Bible prophecy is being fulfilled now for several decades. And I can concur with that, as Hal Lindsey's book had a great impact on me shortly after I got saved in 2005. She goes on to say, the apocalypse is in the air. But in the last few years, things are happening so quickly that observers of the times can't keep up. It's as if the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse are now out of the barn, but they can't make their global appearance until the church is called home in the rapture. The Bible is clear that we will be with Jesus in heaven before these writers begin their deadly trek across planet Earth. Here's a short list of things I am noting in the year of 2022, indicating time is winding down and we will be whisked away very soon. We are already seeing the formation of this coming New World Order through the UN and the World Economic Forum. Without firing a shot, they have gained the allegiance of most world leaders for their Marxist plans to enslave the people of the world. The globalists believe they have the means to reshape the world according to their agenda via the influence they have gained over the global leaders of our day. A one world government will be birthed once the church vacates. The players are in place. 3 words in the Bible jumped out at me recently. Quote, without natural affection. 2 Timothy 3:3. That happens to a final generation. But who could have imagined today's society celebrating the trans movement, homosexual marriage, and the slaughtering of the unborn? All these operate without natural affection. And these issues are leftists' obsession. They love every imaginable aberration. Those standing for biblical values, such as pro-life groups, are under literal violent attack. The same passage opens talking about perilous times. Sure, we've had perilous times since World War I. The destruction of World War II was unthinkable. But now Russia's lunatic leader is threatening the world with nukes. There are more than 40 wars or serious conflicts raging in the world right now, displacing millions and often involving circumstances that are indeed perilous. Let me spend an extra moment on economic issues, inflation, and famine, all prophesied to occur during the tribulation, the time of Jacob's trouble. Are we not seeing the stage setting for that now? As the food apocalypse approaches, the poorest peoples will suffer as they always do. But it is feared that the pain will rapidly move up the global food chain. With that comes a surge in political turbulence, humanitarian crises, and global instability. Add to that the shortage of fertilizer, and the word apocalypse is indeed appropriate and not overused here. U.S. farmer sentiment plummeted in May as producers have become anxious about their farm's financial health. More than 60% of farmers predict farm input prices to be at least 30% higher this year compared to 2021. Throw in the mysterious destruction of multiple food processing plants, and in June, the deaths of thousands of cattle from excess heat, or was it foul play? Also in June, the soaring stock market took a nosedive, and Fed Chairman Jerome Powell admitted they are looking at replacing cash with digital currency. Surely the black horse is ready to ride. To be blunt, economies around the world are on the verge of collapse. J.P. Morgan CEO is warning about a coming economic hurricane. He states, quote, right now it's kind of sunny. Things are doing okay. Everyone thinks the Fed can handle this. But that hurricane is out there, down the road and coming our way. We don't know if it's Superstorm Sandy or Andrew. You better brace yourself. How can I not reference the raging apostasy, the wolves among the flock, and the doctrine of demons all thriving in many churches today? This sad state of church affairs must be one of the most significant signs of the times out there. In May, we learned that a new study from from the Cultural Research Center at Arizona Christian University found that just 37% of Christian pastors in America have a biblical worldview. A spiritual awakening is needed in the pulpit just as much as in the pews. Imagine that 2/3 of our pastors of all denominations don't have a biblical worldview. Israel is sounding the war drums. In the face of Iran's continued development of nuclear capability, the Israeli Air Force has developed a new capability to fly its F-35 jets from Israel to Iran without requiring mid-air refueling. This development is a boost to the IAF capabilities and comes as the Israeli military has upped its preparations for a strike against Iran's nuclear capabilities, a scenario possible even this summer. This may be the most stunning geopolitical development of 2022, even more grave than Russia's brutal invasion of Ukraine. Throw into the mix the collapse of Israeli government in June. Word has it that Biden and his administration will do everything they can to prevent a return of Benjamin Netanyahu, one of Israel's finest leaders. I have provided just a few short bullet points that I have kept my eye on in 2022 that tell me that the king is coming any day. I could list dozens more. We are trending towards the tribulation, the time of Jacob's trouble. And while believers can rejoice at our destination, remember that contained in the above situations are much suffering and perplexity globally. And human beings can't solve these problems. That is why the word perplexity is seen in Luke chapter 21, verse 25. The King of Kings must return to establish his earthly kingdom on earth and clean up the chaos and confusion brought about by the Antichrist and his minions. The stage is being set now. The curtain for the last act could rise any day. Maranatha.